guys, Will here with W.T.F car reviews, and today we're going to be reviewing the all-new 2023 Kia K5 EX.
And huge thanks to Crown Kia in Pinellas Park, Florida for making this review possible. I'll leave a link to your inventory below, and if you're looking for a new car or SUV in the Pinellas Park, St. Petersburg, Clearwater area, I would definitely recommend checking these guys out.
And as most of you guys probably know by now, the K5 replaced the Optima as Kia's midsize sedan back in 2021. The Optima held that title for 20 years previously, and for 2023, there are a couple of updates with the K5, starting with the LX trim being discontinued, and if you want all-wheel drive, the GT line is the only way to go. For 2023, the K5 comes equipped with 4 different trim levels, starting with the LXS at $25,090. All K5s outside of the GT come standard with a 1.6-liter turbo, cranking out 180 horsepower, 195 pound-feet of torque. Made it to an 8-speed automatic transmission for the 1.6-liter turbo. You can expect 0 to 60 around 7 seconds, low 7-second range. The LXS gets 16-inch alloy wheels. We don't have to worry about any hubcaps on any trims, LED headlamps, folding rear seats, 8-inch touchscreen with Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, smart access with push start, and dual zone automatic climate control. You can upgrade about $1,400 to the GT line. Now we get a wireless charging pad, 18-inch black rims, GT line specific styling, LED fog lights, and an upgraded 10.25-inch screen with still Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. However, the 8-inch touchscreen has wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. You upgrade to the 10.25, you lose that wireless function. The seats for the GT line, we've already reviewed on this channel. They are Syntex with cloth contrast 10-way powered driver's seat and a flat bottom steering wheel. Smart trunk is also included. You can upgrade about $1,600 for all-wheel drive, and as you mentioned, the all-wheel drive is only available on the GT line for 2023. It used to be available on the LXS, but now if you want to go all-wheel drive, of course, the GT line is the only way to go. The EX that you see here is an additional about $2,500 compared to the GT line, starting at $28,990. We get gray finished 18-inch rims, unlike the black rims from the GT line, a 10.25-inch screen still, heated and ventilated full Syntex seats, rear air vents, LED interior lights, and a panoramic moonroof. The top of the line K5 for 2023 is the GT at $31,490, and that thing is a powerhouse with a 2.5-liter turbo, 8-speed dual clutch transmission, cranking out 290 horsepower, 311 pound-feet of torque. We get paddle shifters too on the GT. No other K5 gets paddle shifters, 19-inch black rims too, bigger brakes, quad exhaust system, and still a standard panoramic moonroof. But again, this is the EX trim starting at $28,990. What do we get for that money? Let's jump right in. So as we mentioned, we have full LEDs for the high and low beam, LED orange daytime running strip for the outside portion. That's funny how the LED lights just turned off right after we mentioned them. Good timing. Full blacked out grille, updated Kia badge, that's all new for 2022. Still coming equipped, of course, for 2023. Pretty aggressive inlet for the center portion of the hood with some bulges outside that should help you direct the corners of this K5 a little bit easier as a driver. Functional airflow too, not just for the corners, but a ton of airflow for the radiator on the left side and intercooler on the right. The wheel and tire setup, as we mentioned, we get these 18-inch gray finished alloy wheels wrapped in Pirelli P0 all-season tires, and these are beefy. We get 235/45 R19 all seasons, no plastic cladding anywhere, just the standard K5 brakes. The GT gets upgraded brakes, but this is the same brake setup as all other K5s. Smart access for the driver and a front passenger. No LED turn signal on the mirror, but not a big deal. The glass fills up the entire frame and we get blind spot monitoring on the glass. Blacked out trim for the bottom portion of the window trim, some shiny chrome up top. And I would usually knock shiny chrome, but I kind of like how it flares evenly all throughout the rear end of this 2023 K5. Very clean appearance. You can take a quick look at the window sticker, see everything that's available on the 2023 K5 EX front wheel drive, ebony black exterior, black interior. Standard features, this is what you would get on an LXS, and everything that you would get in place for the EX trim. So for the extra about $3,000, you do get quite a few features: 18-inch rims, power sunroof and sunshade, rear parking sensors, 10.25-inch touchscreen with navigation, Syntex seats, LED lights, power driver seat, power lumbar, heated and ventilated seats, wireless charger, rear air vents, and auto up-down for the front passenger windows. A few $100 in options. For $350, we get an auto dimming rear view mirror with 3 garage home link settings on it. $115 for the LED trunk light after an $1,100 destination charge. Total price sitting a tick under $31,000. 1,000 bucks. 31 MPGs too. It's always nice to see large sedans get over 30 MPGs, and this 2023 K5 does not disappoint. Out rear, push to open gas cap, no easy fill, not really a big deal. You just unscrew the cap and fill it up with gas. As we mentioned, that chrome strip continues all throughout the rear. LED taillights, updated Kia badge, backup camera with the trunk release right next to it. K5, very aggressive diffuser, full rear parking sensing. But speaking of the diffuser, it's aggressive, but the exhaust tips are fake. If you want to get a good look at your exhaust tip, hopefully I can angle myself down here. And speaking of the exhaust tip, let's fire up this 1.6 liter turbo and hear how she sounds. All right, guys, that was the sound of the 1.6 liter turbo sold by Kia for the 2023 K5 EX, and it sounds pretty good, cranking out 180 horsepower, 195 pound-feet of torque, made it to an 8-speed automatic transmission. You can expect this 3,300-pound mid-size sedan to get to 60 consistently around 7 seconds. No joke when it comes to performance. Very good fuel economy, very solid space, and a base price under $30,000. We get hydraulic struts, batteries on the driver's side, but not the biggest deal since the motor seems to be pushed pretty well towards the passenger side. Aluminum stick connecting your strut tower should help the handling quite a bit. This funnel to the intake should also help getting some cold air into your motor. But other than that, we can shut this hood right up, take one more step back, get one last look at the front styling. Very nice car. Really not much has changed outside of the Kia badge since its original 2021 release, but not much needs to change because this is still a very nice car. Inside, we can check it out. Up top, soft touch materials, wood grain trim beneath, aluminum door handle, auto one touch for the front too, stitching for the center, all actual soft touch Syntex stitching beneath, gushy soft for the armrest, very solid storage behind it. 4-way adjustable mirrors, left and right is the pieces aluminum, some piano black in front of it. Speaker, not the most impressive sound system here, but you can upgrade the sound system too, and it's still solid for a bass. We get decent storage down below. You'll fit a foot long, possibly two. And the drink, I wouldn't expect you to fit larger than a 12 ounce, and make sure the lid is tightly closed because it is sideways. Taking a step inside, we get a small K5 badge. It's not an aluminum nameplate or anything, but I'm still liking that it says K5. The rear seats are perforated Syntex, heated and ventilated. Very solid bolstering too. 2-way lumbar control. You can recline, drop, lift, and slide the seats. But taking a step inside, we can really check it out. So we'll start her up. Aluminum engine start stop button. Everything fires right to life. But first thing we notice is a steering wheel. Unlike the GT line, it's not a flat bottom, but other than that, it's basically the exact same thing. Actually leather wrapped. Not a contrast stitch, but it's still beautiful. You get good 10 and 2 bolstering notch, 9 and 3 fits perfect. Voice commands, volume, skip. Beneath that, you can answer and hang up your phone calls, AM, FM, and Sirius. The horn has a rubberized texture to it. The horn itself, pretty aggressive sounding horn. People should definitely be getting out of your way. It's all outlined in this nice aluminum trim. These buttons control your infotainment, active steering, and lane keep assist. This is your cruise control buttons, but speaking of the infotainment, let's check it out real quick. Right now we're looking at fuel economy, average. Beneath that, accumulated info, drive mode. The drive mode selector is back here behind the gear selector. We have sport, custom, normal, and smart mode. We'll start the review off in normal, transition to sport, just see what the differences are. Continuing along, more modes. We also get a compass and turn-by-turn when the navigation's hooked up. One more click for the advanced safety features and the attention level, and a digital speedo with tire pressure, but you have to be driving to see the tire pressure. My personal favorite to look at all times would probably just be the compass. We'll leave it here. On the left side, about a 6,500 RPM tach with the coolant temperature beneath. On the right side, 160 for the speedometer with the fuel tank beneath. The dashboard, just hard plastic for the top portion, but the side areas have a nice soft touch texture with some stitching too. 10.25-inch touchscreen. Before we even check that out, to the left of the steering wheel, interior brightness, lane keep assist, traction control you can disable, electronic trunk release, fuse box, hood latch release, and you can get a good look at your pedals, floor mounted accelerator pedal, tilt and telescoping steering wheel, auto headlamps, auto high beams, very satisfying click for the turn signals. No rain sensing wipers. That would be nice to get on a near top trim EX, but with this price point wouldn't really be expected. That wood trim continues all throughout this dashboard area, just some hard plastic beneath. Other than that though, as we mentioned, a 10.25-inch touchscreen is excellent. We can hide this music screen away, and as you see, the response, it's pretty decent. It's not the best. It does take a second to respond to your fingers, but the touchscreen itself, once we go to the screen, you see as soon as you even think about touching, the screen itself responds. So the map, you may just need a week or two to adjust, and then you'll have a perfectly responsive map. We get map, navigation menu, phone projection, voice memo, climate, valet mode, HD radio, radio media, Kia Connect, setup, notifications, and user manual. My personal favorite, of course, to look at all times would just be the map, and we'll leave it here for the purpose of this review. You throw the gear selector, which controls your 8-speed auto, into reverse. We can check out the backup camera, which has very good resolution, guidance lines, trajectory, and full rear parking sensing. Different camera angles include the standard angle and an over-the-top little trailer hitch angle if you want to attach your K5 GT to a trailer hitch, or if you're in the city parallel parking and you don't want to scratch up your rear bumper. We get shortcuts too: map, nav, favorites, radio, media, seek, track, and setup. Throwing it right back into park. We immediately return back to our home screen. That is nice. The air vents are outlined in aluminum. Hazards, dual zone automatic climate control, vent controls if you don't want to use your automatic climate control, 12-volt, 2 USB ports, no wireless charging pad. You might be wondering, where's the wireless charging pad? Well, you said that there is one. It's hiding right back here with a cubby for your phone. We get manual shift controls on the gear selector. Unfortunately, in the improper directions to up and downshift. 2 cup holders with these flappy things to keep your drinks in place. You should be able to fit 16 ounces with no problem. Electronic parking brake with auto hold, heated and ventilated seats. Drive mode select. As we mentioned, we have normal, sport, custom, and smart mode. We'll start off in normal, transition to sport. We'll also turn on these cooled seats because it's starting to get a little bit toasty out here in St. Petersburg, Florida. The wireless charging pad, as we mentioned, very soft for this leather Syntex armrest. It's really comfortable area to rest your arm. Solid space too. I'd expect you to fit at least 9, maybe 10 12-ounce water bottles and an additional USB port in there as well. The glove box, we can open it up. It is damped and it is massive. You're fitting 25, 30 license plates. 2 pairs of shoes should fit if you're under a size 10. Basically a frameless auto-dimming rear view mirror with 3 garage home link settings on it. That's a $350 option. Panoramic moonroof. The shade opens up super quickly and the roof follows it also super quickly. Wow, I'm not speeding this up, guys. That's really the speed of that moonroof. That's as far as it goes, unfortunately. I would expect it to go out a little bit further, but I guess beggars can't be choosers. We can poke our way out of here. As you mentioned, beautiful day right now in St. Petersburg, actually Pinellas Park. Basically the same thing. It's not sunny or anything like that. It's actually about to rain if it's not raining already, as you can see on the windshield, but it's only 81 degrees, which, as you know, at this time of year in Florida is about almost 20 degrees cooler than usual. We'll leave the shade open so when we hop out back, you guys can get a good idea of how much light would be brought into the cabin if it wasn't a rainy day in Florida, but that's about it for the front seat. Let's hop out back, see how much space is offered back there, as well as the overall quality of the materials. Before we do that, actually, let's do a window check. We get dual pane windows on a sub $30,000 midsize sedan. Dual pane windows are an impressive touch. Out rear though, up top, hard plastic, kind of would be expected with the price point. We still get the wood trim. The middle portion is still gushy soft stitched material with a gushy soft armrest too. No auto one touch in the back, but it's still a power window, of course, speaker, decent little storage pocket. I'd expect you to fit up to a 6-inch sub with a 12-ounce water bottle with a tightly closed lid behind it. K5 badge. As we step inside, it's not lined with chrome or anything like that. The rear seats are very well bolstered. Check out the bolstering. It goes all the way out to the door frame, perforated, not heated or cooled, of course, but we still get rear air vents, which is a nice touch. Legroom, I'm a little bit over 6 feet tall sitting behind my seat settings, and I still have a ton of space. This is unbelievably spacious, guys. More spacious than the new 5 Series we recently reviewed in this channel. I got like 5-6 inches of knee room, headroom. I got at least 1 or 2 inches. Rear air vents, 2 USB ports, map pockets behind both of the front seats, ton of light bar into the cabin if it was a sunny day, and the interior light is LED. Cool. Center cubby, you got to really jab your hand into it because there's no string, but we get 2 cup holders, nice soft Syntex materials, but that's about it for the back seat. Let's take a quick look at the trunk and then take this 2023 K5 EX out for a drive. So as we mentioned in the beginning, next to the rear view camera, there's a button which electrically shoots open your trunk with a massive opening. That's one of the largest openings in the business. The wheel well cutouts are super fat. You'll easily fit a golf bag with no issues, catcher's bag for baseball, no issues whatsoever. The only issues you may have are we don't get hinge covers. So if you pack it up anything higher than this, expect it to crush or squeeze down on your cargo. Very deep cargo space. I'm not going anywhere near the back seats. The rear seats, you can fold them down 60-40 split, and not the widest cutout for them, so I wouldn't expect you to fit larger than, say, 55, maybe a 60-inch TV, but the cargo space itself is massive. Secret storage, we'll see if we get any. Doesn't appear to be a whole lot, but we can lift this thing up. Spare tire with actually a decent amount of secret storage surrounding it. Good spot for some secret stuff. You can fold the rear seats down with those two latches. We can shut this tailgate up though. Take one last little walk around of this 2023 Kia K5 EX. It is a really nice car for the sub $30,000 price point. Performance wise, it should be similar to the rest of the K5s, at least the ones reviewed in this channel outside of the GT. But speaking of performance, let's take it out for a drive. All right guys, now we're just about seen everything we need to see with the inside and outside of this all new 2023 Kia K5 EX. Let's take it out for a drive. And first thing I notice is the steering wheel feels perfect distance from my hands. It's all the way tilted back, but the gas pedal still feels a little bit too close to me. So I'm not saying that I would like to have adjustable pedals, but if the steering wheel could telescope a little bit further so I can have a comfortable position on my hands and feet, it would be nice. Second thing I noticed, the brakes feel nice and touchy and the interior is very quiet. We'll try our best not to scrape here. Okay, we didn't scrape, so there's sufficient ground clearance, good low end punch. Not bad. Stepping out here, lean into it about halfway. Ooh, very good torque. Once that turbo spools up, great torque, and it's so quiet in here. Thanks to those dual pane windows, we'll hit the speed bump a lot quicker than we should. Great ride quality. There's another speed bump coming up. One more half throttle. Good torque. Brakes, but we'll still hit it way quicker than we should. Boom, nothing. It's like a truck. Not quite. I hope you don't take me literally. But the ride quality is excellent in the 2023 K5. It doesn't matter what trim you go with. The K5 has great overall ride quality. And the acceleration is solid. Obviously, all K5 trims basically have the exact same power plant outside of the GT, which we already reviewed the 2022 GT in this channel. Hopefully, we can get our hands on the 2023 GT at some point. But the GT, in my opinion, it makes too much power for the front wheels, at least without a limited slip differential. This is a perfect amount of power to the front wheels. You can go with all-wheel drive with this power point. I wish you can go with all-wheel drive on the GT. But in the meantime, the only trim level you can go with all-wheel drive on is the GT line, as you mentioned. But as soon as we get a chance, we'll take a step out onto this multiple lane highway, open her up a little bit, and I'll catch right back with you. All right, guys, taking a step out here, we'll lean into it once we're situated on the gas. There we go. Not bad. The gear shifts aren't very quick. The DCT and the GT, of course, is much quicker of a shifting transmission, to be expected. I mean, it's a DCT. But the power here is good. Low end, the low end punch is definitely there. We could try some highway passing power, about 40. Yeah, that low end punch, when you're around like 3,500 to 5,000 RPM, that's when this motor feels really strong. I've been trying to turn around for some time now. There's just a whole lot of cars waiting to do the exact same thing. Next one though, I promise, we'll turn around and hopefully get a chance to try out an acceleration off the line. All right, guys, taking a step out here, we can lean into it off the line. Woo! Yeah, so we short shift a little bit. The red line goes to about 6,500, but the transmission shifts closer to around 5,800, which is fine. It keeps us in the torque curve a little bit longer. We can test out this car's turning radius. See what we got. Ooh, very good turning radius. One more time on the gas. Okay. Yeah. It's not blowing you away with performance, but it definitely gets up and goes. It feels comparable to the 2.5 that you would get from the Toyota Camry. However, down low, this motor feels 1,000 times stronger. Up top, it's comparable, which is what you would want, because like I just said, down low, this feels stronger. So overall, I do think that this is a stronger feeling power plant than what you would get in the Camry. Obviously, the Camry's 2.5 liter has been known for its bulletproof reliability, whereas this 1.6 liter turbo hasn't really been proven to the same degree yet. But in terms of brand new out the box powerful feel, I personally think this motor feels a little bit stronger. I also think it feels stronger than the 1.5 that we get from Honda. So for the segment it's in, very good feeling motor. Again, I wish it made more power. I feel like it could make more power. We know that it makes more power in vehicles like the Hyundai Elantra N-Line, Kia Forte GT. And if we had numbers like that, like 201 horsepower, 195 pound-feet of torque, I think this car would be even better. It would probably get 0 to 60 in under 7 seconds, especially with the 8-speed DCT. But this 8-speed auto is still more than good enough. We'll try it out in sport mode, and as soon as this road clears up at least a little bit, I'll catch right back with you. All right, guys, sport mode. Okay, the throttle's a lot more sensitive. We go to like almost 3,000 RPM with like a 10th throttle input. And at highway speeds, it's still extremely quiet. We're in sport mode. I don't want to say we lose our overdrive gears. We're turning around 1,700 at 40 miles per hour. So there is another gear that we could go into. But if we're under 2,000 RPM, I wouldn't call this a sport mode that you couldn't drive every day. And there are cars where if you're cruising at 40, you're going to be hovering around 4,000 RPM because it wants you to be in the optimal gear for the track. But that's not how it is here. Here we still get an overdrive in our sport mode. So if you want to get a little bit more performance out of your 2023 K5EX, I would say that leaving it in sport mode for daily driving isn't out of the question. There's also a smart and custom mode where you can adjust things such as the steering, which does get heavier in sport mode, noticeably heavier in sport mode, not in a bad way. It still feels very silky smooth, but in sport mode, I personally prefer the steering. I prefer the throttle. It's just a nicer car overall in sport, and I would recommend leaving it there for daily driving. And the quietness, it's still just unbelievably quiet. The road noise doesn't exist, neither does the wind noise. It is an excellent, I don't want to say luxury car, but for the money, the luxury that you get is truly phenomenal. If you're looking for a mid-size sedan and you don't want to spend over $30,000, but you don't want to compromise features, you need, well, I don't want to say you need, nobody needs cooled seats, but in Florida for the summertime, trust me, I know cooled seats could be really, really nice to have. So if you're looking for a loaded mid-size sedan under the $30,000 price point, I would 1,000,000% recommend checking out the 2023 Kia K5EX. And a huge thanks to Crown Kia in Pinellas Park, Florida for making this review possible. I'll leave a link to your inventory below, and if you're looking for a new car or SUV in the St. Petersburg, Clearwater area, I would definitely recommend checking these guys out. And huge thanks to all of you for watching. I had a great time making this video. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe. If you've already subscribed, thank you so much. You guys know the channel's just not possible without you guys, and I really appreciate the constant support. But again, if you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe. Leave a like too. It really helps me out, the YouTube algorithm. That's how these videos get promoted to new people. Leave a comment. Let me know what you like. Let me know what you don't like. Let me know if there's any specific cars, SUVs, or trucks you'd like to see reviewed on this channel. Let me know what the trim levels are, and I'll definitely try getting those videos for you as soon as possible. Other than that, again, thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope all of you have a great day.